Yo, what's up, guys? So I don't know how much I'm actually going to be recording on this trip because I don't plan to make a real video out of this, but right now I'm currently on the Maricopa Casa Grande Highway driving over to Casa Grande to pick up my uncle, and we're going to drive all the way out to California to meet my other uncle. So I'll probably end up just getting a few clips here and there. I'm not going to be trying to make a whole video out of the entire trip, but we'll see how it goes. We probably got, what's today? Right now it's about 10:29. I don't know if the camera can even catch that, but 10:30 right now, so we should be at his house in 10-15 minutes. I'm expecting this trip to probably be about 6-7 hours or so. Obviously, as you can see, we're in the Civic today. We're not taking the bike, but yeah. Anyways, I'll let you guys know how it goes. Guys, we are officially recording. Yeah, we're recording. We're officially back in town now. I didn't end up really recording anything while I was out in Cali. I got a few pictures that I'll probably end up putting up on the screen right now, but yeah, I don't know. When I'm hanging with family, I don't really feel like recording anything or taking too many pictures of the camera, so. Yeah, anyways, we're back. For starters, I kind of changed my microphone position a little bit. So hopefully it sounds better. I don't know how it's going to sound, but if it either sounds the same, I'm going to keep with it, or if it sounds worse, I'll change it back. But I'm going to record the whole video like this, so hopefully it's not terrible, but I think it's either going to be the same or better. I'm not too worried about it. Well, yeah, biggest thing I'm here to talk about is going to be that Super Bowl. Oh my God. I mean, for starters, I'm in Arizona, obviously. Most people watching already know that. But every single year for Super Bowl, I go out to California and visit an uncle, and I have a good amount of family that's always there for it, and it's always a good time, just family getting together, hanging out for the Super Bowl. And anyways, this had to have been one of the better Super Bowls that I've seen in recent years. Not only did the Chiefs get destroyed, but overall, it was just a pretty good game. But man, it feels so good to be back in town, riding around on the bike again. I haven't rode since Thursday, and as I'm recording this right now, it is Wednesday. It feels great to be out here, riding around again. like this in traffic, but it feels great. But yeah, man, the Eagles showed up this weekend, man. The Eagles have been killing it this whole season. And today, or not today, but Sunday, they finally really proved what they can do this season. And I'm not gonna lie, had a couple parlays on the game. This is actually my first time I ever bet on a game, and none of them hit, which means I'm not betting again until probably the next Super Bowl. I'm not really a gambling guy in the first place, so it was kind of weird to me to bet in the first place, but I don't know, I felt like just having some fun. But yeah, my parlays didn't hit. The biggest factor that I had on my parlays that didn't hit was Saquon. I had him going for, I don't think I had him going for 2 touchdowns and anything. I think I only put it at 1, and then I put him at like 110 rushing yards, 120 rushing yards, and he didn't hit any of those. I think he ended the game with like 70 rushing yards, 0 touchdowns, and I mean, I kind of suspected that coming into the game, just because like I figured that the Chiefs defense was going to be a little bit centered around trying to counter the monster that is Saquon Barkley, but I didn't anticipate them to do as good of a job as they actually did, so it was a little disappointing. But I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, it was a great game. It was a good watch, and obviously it was good to be around with family, just having a good time. But yeah, man, riding around just feels great right now. It's a pretty overcast day. I guess it rained while I was gone, and it's supposed to rain again either tomorrow or Friday, something like that, which is definitely weird. For out here, it's pretty rare to get rain, but I think it rained like maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's already about to rain again. So, I mean, honestly, I like it. It kind of sucks. I'm not a fan of riding in the rain, especially since, you know, it doesn't rain often, so I'm not really experienced at all in riding in the rain, and that's definitely one of the big factors for why I don't ride around in the rain, is because I'm pretty inexperienced at it. So I get better, but I mean, I like keeping I like keeping a clean ride with the bike. You know, obviously I have a garage kept, so I don't really want to put it out in the rain unless I have to, and because I also have a car, there's not really a reason to get my bike wet. Unless, you know, it just happened to start pouring randomly as I was driving home or something. But, you know, I mean, like, if it rained right now, like, it's overcast. I don't think it's expected to rain today. Like, it's obviously a possibility, but I'm not expecting it to. But if it did, I wouldn't be that mad. It's not a big deal. It is pretty windy, though. It's a good thing I got the little windbreaker on under the hoodie, so definitely helps with that. But yeah, while I was in Cali, hold on, sorry, let's get back to the Super Bowl talk real quick. So, Mahomes and the Chiefs don't get anything until the tail end of the third quarter. So they basically didn't score at all until the fourth quarter, which, oh my God, dude, if I had to put money on that, I would not have had money on that happening. I think that was the craziest part of that game, was just how much of a tear the Eagles defense put on the Chiefs offense. I mean, they sacked him so many times. I feel bad that I don't know most of the defensive linemen for the Eagles. They're not even in my division, so I don't really pay attention to them too much. But man, that defense was a powerhouse and just destroyed them.
the Cooper DeJean pick six, oh my God, it was beautiful, man. I mean, like, there was not a single passing play where the Eagles didn't have full control over the Chiefs offense. It was beautiful to watch. And, you know, part of me, like, just as a football fan in general, is kind of sad that the Chiefs didn't three-peat, because, I mean, it's hard to say if there will be another time in my life where another team will have the chance to be able to three-peat. You know, it hasn't happened in Super Bowl history. I know that the Packers won 3 championships, like, back, like, literally right before the Super Bowl. I think it was like 64, 65, 66. Green Bay won 3 championships in a row. I think they did that twice, actually. But, you know, there were less teams then. Before the AFL merger. You know, like, we're strictly talking Super Bowl era. And anyways, it's obviously possible in my lifetime, as somebody who's only 21, that we could see another three-peat opportunity. But, I mean, for now, this is the closest we're going to have for probably a few decades. Like, I would say, you know, the Brady-Pats dynasty and the Mahomes-Chiefs legacy, whatever you want to call them right now, because I mean, they're a great team, no question about it, but that Super Bowl win was crucial for Mahomes to be in the GOATs talk. You know, he still has some years left in his career, but currently he's up there, but he's not really in the GOAT debate as much as Brady is. You know, Brady as an individual quarterback is just unmatched. But anyways, while I was in Cali, I luckily got to hang out with one of my biker uncles, who's been a Harley guy since he was a kid, actually. And he had no idea until this trip that I ride bikes now. Because I asked him, I was like, hey man, I was sitting next to the couch on him. Everybody was eating, watching the pool, and I was like, hey bro, you still ride? And he's like, oh yeah, you know, I try to ride. I think they're in like Redwood City, up in like Northern Cali. And he told me, he's like, yeah, I try to ride every day. It's really just a matter of like what the weather's like. Because the weather year-round there is amazing. But like he said that if it's raining, he's not riding. And like this time of year, obviously it's a little bit colder in the morning time, because I think he gets up pretty early for work. So him riding to work typically ends up being a bit of a cold ride. But he's a bagger kind of guy. He told me he has a Road King is what he's riding. And it looks pretty cool. I'm not really a bagger guy. I mean, maybe I could be one day. You know, I told him I have a Sportster 1200, and he told me that was actually his starter bike. You know, he's been riding for probably like 20 years. His dad's been riding for more than double that, I'm sure. You know, they're lifelong riders. They do their own maintenance and everything. They're real biker dudes. But yeah, we had some good talks about riding. You know, I was letting him know how my experiences are so far, and get along great. He's one of my favorite uncles that I don't get to see very much. Like, I get to see a few uncles pretty often, and he's the kind of uncle that I only get to see like once a year, once every other year or so. So it's always a good time when I'm able to hang out with him, just because I don't normally get to hang out with him. I mean, the guy's got kids now. You know, his kids are, I think, 7 and 2. So it's not very common that I get to hang out with him, just especially because they're stayed away. Like, I think in the last 10 years or so, I've probably only seen him like 6 or 7 times, I think is my guess. Try to find a little place to chill here a little bit. All right, so I actually just got a call. I'm out here today riding around. My dog is actually having a little surgery right now, and the doctor just called me to let me know that the surgery is all done. Right now it is 10:45, something like that, 10:40, 10:45. And they said, yeah, 10:43. So they said to come pick him up around 11:30, 11:45. So I'm not gonna stay here for too long because I gotta go back and get my car and pick him up. But yeah, whew. Man, it was yeah, no, I had a good time out in Cali. I gotta have my uncle send me the video because when we were on our way home, we were going through Palm Springs, and there was a really, really bad dust storm for a while. It wasn't bad enough that we had to pull off on the side of the road. Like, we just kept going the whole time. But it was bad enough that everybody on like a 75-mile-an-hour highway, or maybe a 70, I can't remember, everybody was going like 30 for a little while. It was really bad. There was like almost zero visibility. I know my uncle already sent me a shitty picture of it, but I was trying to drive carefully, so I told him to take a video, and I don't know if he ended up taking the video, but well, I know he took a video. I'll just have to have him send it to me, and hopefully I'll put it in like right here.
Damn! Shit, I thought we were in California. This looks like more like Arizona.
Yeah, damn right.
What the hell, Chandler? What's going on here?
I can't see doggone thing.
Wow, I can't see 57. Oh, 50 miles.
But anyways, yeah, it was a good time. That Super Bowl, man, that was one of the best Super Bowls we've had in a while. Me personally, I've been out in Arizona. I feel like I could say I was raised in Arizona for the most part. I moved out here right before I turned 10, but I was really, really into football as a little kid. And so being from Seattle, I still consider myself a Seahawks fan. You know, there could be a point. I still just because I've been in Arizona for so long, I root for the Cardinals too. You know, they're both like my teams. Like at heart, Seahawks are more my team. And part of that just being, as I was growing up, I mean, we had the Legion of Boom. We won a Super Bowl. We lost the Super Bowl in 2015 for extremely stupid reasons to the Patriots. Pete Carroll, we will never forget that moment. I'm sure he will never forget that moment either.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal. Malcolm Butler, who almost made the phenomenal play that wound up in Percy's arms. Or a flag.
He's with the Raiders now. But oh man, that was brutal. Anyways, I think we're about to get back on the road here, so I can get home, so I can go pick up my dog. I'll probably record a little video when I pick him up and put it in here, because he had to have a little surgery today to get a little thing removed on his face. I think I already talked about it in a video before, but he ended up having this little it started off as kind of like a pimple on his face, and now it's turned into what they call a mass. been on there for a little while. He doesn't really mess with it too much. Like, it doesn't irritate him that much. But, you know, I had the vet remove it, and then I'm having them send it in for testing just to make sure that it's not anything serious, you know, in case it's like cancerous or something. You know, it was like an extra $150-200 to have them send it in for testing, and I'm already paying a good amount for the surgery, so I figured it's worth it just to make sure my boy's good to have them send that in. So they're gonna end up sending that in, and hopefully he's all good. They said he did pretty good during the surgery. In between when I stopped recording to find a spot and when I started recording to find a spot, I actually got a call from them, and they let me know he was all done. So we're gonna go home and then get my car and then go over and pick him up. He's only like 10 minutes away from my house, and I'm about like 15 minutes from the crib right now. So anyways, but yeah, one of the best Super Bowls we've had in a while. I think one of the worst in my time was the Bengals-Rams Super Bowl. It was probably one of the worst Super Bowls I've ever seen. It was such a slow game. You know, if I remember correctly, nobody scored anything in the first half, and if they did, I think one team scored a field goal. That was a very boring game to watch. I'm glad that, you know, even though the Chiefs really couldn't do anything in the first half, or really first 3 quarters of the game, it was good to see the Eagles just stomping them, man. It was a great game to watch. So yeah, that's overall my thoughts on the Super Bowl. And I'm finally back from my trip. I originally was going to record 2 videos today, because they said it might take a few hours for my dog to be done, but I dropped them off at like shit. Dropped him off at about 9, and they've already called me letting me know that he is done, and that was at 10:30. So I think they said minimum, like, considering it only took an hour and a half, I'm gonna say that their minimum was probably just 1 hour. But originally I thought their minimum was 2 hours, and it was gonna be in the range of 2 hours to 6 hours. So I was originally expecting to be able to come out here and record 2 videos, but I'm going to end up having to just cut it down to this one. I'm not going to have enough time to talk about the next video, but yeah, I'll see you guys back when I end up picking up the puppy. So,
I'm going to sit this down here for now. Make sure he's not pawing at it. The biggest thing is keeping his cone on.
yeah, I assume that's going to have to be for a little while. Alright, so we got the puppy back. He has to have a cone, but I'll put any little footage there from the vet talking about it. I guess he did pretty good. So, time to get him home and have him relaxed.